Bobby Durkins. It's midnight, well, almost midnight on Friday night. This is my third YouTube Live of today. And I want to go ahead and tell you, everybody, this is something I'm trying to transition into. Dr. 2K, how you doing, buddy? My day's been good. Friday at 5 o'clock came. It's gone. I'm fine. Been hanging out. Hope you've been doing well as too. Bobby Durkins here. Just want to talk about a couple of things. Of course, we know. Hey, Bowser Nation, there you are, buddy. Lord, you are like clockwork. It's like if I break Quinn, you go, who farted? You know what you're doing there. Thank you so much. Got Bobby Durkins Jr. He's over here playing Fortnite. And we played Rocket League just a second ago. And I said, you know what? I feel like I need to do a video. I think I need to reach out there to everybody. A bunch of you boys, you just got off second shift. Some of you on third shift. I just want to tell you, everything's going to be okay. You can make it. And you will be all right. But, so, let's talk about this week. I know we're going into Saturday in just a few minutes, technically Saturday, but let's go ahead and talk about what's, can I play with Bobby Jr. on Fortnite? I mean, I really don't know. All these kids with their electronics and such, I don't know. I don't know. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. I wish that NCAA football game was still going on before all those players sued them for using their likeness. It was players for the majority that we don't even know what their likeness looks like. But anyway, hello everybody. The reason I want to get on here live, hope you pass this along, do the Lord's work, is this week we had SEC Media Day, we had ACC Media Day, and let's talk about that for a second. Some of the interesting things that went on. Jimbo Fisher was questioned, and I want to tell you this. I'm tired of journalism. I'm tired of journalism as it is. I'm tired of it's just everybody. Journalism I'm tired of. There's some good journalists out there, and I feel bad, by making that comment because, I mean, there's some good journalists out there, and they raise good questions, but for the most part, it's Me Too. It's the Me Too category. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. It's just like, this person talks about that. Well, me too, and they kind of jump in. It's kind of the quickest to jump on top of everything, and, we all kind of do it. We do. I admit I do it to a point, but I try to step back and go, Bobby, what do you really think? What do you really believe? So this week, kind of some interesting things that went on. Let's recap. I mean, we're in the weekend technically. Let's recap for a second. Jimbo Fisher got caught 1 year after he said that the ACC was the Premier League. A year later, he says the SEC was the Premier League. And then when he was called on it, he said, well, all these teams from the South, they're close to the, they're close to the South, and therefore that makes them great. Well, we all know that that's crap. I believe in just believing in your team. I think when you start getting into geographical areas, I think that's when you start to muddy the waters. Just to say that Wofford and Furman's going to be fantastic because Clemson won a national championship over the past couple of years, and they've been to the college football playoff for 3 straight years, it would be stupid. Just as if Furman or Wofford was to win, I still call it the D1AA. I know there's a whole other name for it, but forgive me, I really don't care that much. If they won the national championship and said, well, Clemson's good because they won the national championship, I would say that's the stupidest line of thinking I've ever heard. What it really comes down to is Jimbo got caught in talking, whatever, it's company talk. Now, he is being paid a lot more money than you and I are making, so at the end of the day, he's going to say whatever he can to get out of that moment, and trust me, somebody had told him that question was going to come up. With all of that said, that was one of the interesting things. We know that Aaron Murray, that he criticized Jeremy Pruitt this week for being a head coach. Here's the deal. Look, I'm not going to knock either guys. It's not because I don't have it in me. It's because I have it in me to look and say, okay, it's easy to just go rip a bunch of people and act like I'm doing something special. Here's the deal. Jeremy Pruitt is now the coach at Tennessee. People grow, and then some people don't grow. Bowser Nation, you say, you are the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you could call my wife and tell me that, tell her that. Would you do that for me? Pick up your phone, call her. I'll send her number to you. You can say Bobby Durkins is the best, and hopefully she'll believe it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, Jeremy Pruitt's had a lot of success. He's moved his way up through the ranks. There's a lot of coaches who are not nice guys. Dabo Swinney is one of the few nice guys left. A lot of people think he's fake because he's so nice. I don't think he's fake, and I do think probably sometimes he throws on a little more icing on the cake than everybody else. And we'll get to that in just a second. That's really the reason I did this Facebook Live, but or not Facebook, YouTube. Forgive me, Lord, forgive me. I shouldn't have said that. But this week, I mean, you know, Aaron Murray saying that Jeremy Pruitt was wrong. Now, let's step back here. I know nothing about this, okay? I've heard things. We all don't know the truth unless we were there, okay? Just walk with me. Trust me. Trust Bobby Durkins. That's a name you can trust in. Let's say that Jeremy Pruitt is a jerk. Let's say that he did go into Mark Richt's office and say, you don't know what you're doing. Well, let's step back here and say this. I think Mark Richt's a nice guy. I think he's a nice guy. I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's a bad football coach. I just question if he is a great head coach. We all get mixed up. I mean, think about this. This week, Brent Venables, as an assistant coach, a defensive coordinator, is now making somewhere around $2 million plus per year. And at the end of the day, wouldn't you like to just make $500,000 a year? I would. I'd love to. I mean, my wife would love me forever and wouldn't have to go through those embarrassing vows and promise a bunch of stuff that we can't say that she really would mean. I mean, here's the deal. We get to feeling sorry for some of these guys, forgetting that they make tons of money. But with that said, was it or was it not true that Mark Richt had tons of talent that the school ended up pissing away and should have won more games? It's true. If Jeremy Pruitt marched his arrogant tail or non-arrogant tail into Mark Richt's office and looked at him and said, you know what, Mark? I don't care if you're head coach or not. I don't care if I'm the defensive coordinator or not. You're wasting talent. Would we have to step back and say, he's right? Now here, see, I'm one of those rare individuals. Now, I'm serious. I know I get pissed off at stuff. I get touchy about stuff. But here's the deal. We live in a society where the truth is the bad guy. The truth is the bad guy. If you don't say it just right and wrap it in the perfect little package and preface everything before you say it, you're the bad guy. No matter if you're right, you're the bad guy. Well, see, I don't believe that way. What I believe is that you should, even though I'm kind of wrong, I admit it. Bobby Durkins is wrong, I admit it. I'm going to tell you the truth. And sometimes I could do it better, and I try to do it better. I try to be more approachable than other people. But here's the deal. I want to tell you this. The truth is the enemy. Because here's the reason why. I have found that the truth, even said in the right way, offends people. And here's the reason why. Because it addresses the issue and the weaknesses within that person. That's really deep. I'll get back on here for another couple of weeks because that's even a little deep for me, Bobby Durkins. But the truth is, if Jeremy Pruitt walked in there and looked at Mark Richt and said, Mark, you're a good guy. I respect you. Thank you for hiring me. But you are pissing away talent. Could all you Georgia fans right now raise your hand here in the church and say a good old hearty amen? That team with Stafford and Moreno should have won a national championship. They should have. Bama was not on its run yet. It was the easiest time in the flipping world for them to be able to do it. Whether Pruitt was there or not, the truth is, Rick wasted a lot of talent. Rick and his staff wasted a lot of talent. That's why I have a very difficult time buying into Miami and all their brilliantness that's going on down there, and the chain, and Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez is down there, and they're jumping up and down. Everybody's going crazy. We're back! You hadn't done nothing yet. Remember, Clemson beat the living color out of your hair in the ACC championship. Remember that. Remember that. Forget that Notre Dame win. That mattered, but a few weeks later, it really didn't. The point is that Jeremy Pruitt may not be the nicest guy in the world. He may truly be a jerk, or he might be a nice guy who got pissed off and walked in there and looked at a guy who had more talent than you could ever beg for and say, you know what? You know what? Hey, you can sit here and say, well, it's hard to win in the SEC, or you can step back and realize you have more talent than anybody in the SEC, more talent than anybody in the country, and for some reason, you're losing. I used to do a bunch of work in Georgia, and one day they'd love Mark Richt, and then 2 weeks later they'd hate him, and 2 weeks after that they'd love him. My schizophrenic state. And listen, I got a bunch of Georgia fans who follow me and listen at me. I'm not digging at you. Go back in your mind and think about it. In 2 years, Kirby Smart got you to where you've been begging to be for a very, very long time. And quite honestly, forget that I'm wearing this shirt. The truth is, you should have a couple of national championships right now. I mean, the truth is, hey, Bobby, Bulldog, we're going to beat Alabama and can't break. Here's the deal. Imagine if Clemson, with all the talent that they have this year, loses 2 regular season games, ends up second in the ACC, and they don't even get to the conference championship. How many people here, Clemson fan or not, would say that's unthinkable considering the talent they have? Starting with me, yeah. And most of you, even if you hate Clemson, but you had to be honest, like it was an intellectual football question. You go, okay, I know I hate Clemson, but I got to tell the truth. Clemson has too much talent. That's what happened with Georgia. That's what happened with LSU. I just did a LSU preview. Go watch my LSU preview. By the way, I took a lot of flack for what I said about Florida State recently. I had an argument with a delusional LSU fan that thinks LSU will beat UGA and Bama and they go 10-2. Bulldog, here's what I'm going to tell you right now. A long time ago, my grandfather looked at me and told me, Bobby, you have a lot of fight in you, son, but sometimes that fight will drag you down. And in this case, Bulldog, I would offer it to you. When you look, that LSU truly has the toughest schedule. I'm talking about according to the experts, and half the time I don't even listen to them, but I looked at it myself. LSU has the toughest schedule in the SEC, and considering that after one season, their head coach, who they hired, and I'm not going to knock Orgeron, I'm just going to say this. We all know that Orgeron's a good position or coordinator coach. He is not a head coach, and they hired him. So I think it's very unfair for them to hire him only to automatically throw him on a warm seat, and the season after that throw him on a hot seat. That's not Orgeron's fault. That's LSU's fault. And that makes you think that they need to fire everybody in the athletic department in LSU. But to address what you said, LSU is not going 10-2. And they are not going undefeated. LSU has the toughest schedule. Let me tell you this. When I hear about SEC schedule, we're playing the SEC. Do you know the last time that South Carolina played Alabama? 2010. And then Gamecocks go, we beat them, man. We beat them. We beat them. We beat them 8 years ago. How many teams has went from great to sucking in the past 8 years? Go pull that up. Got to pull that up. Oregon was amazing 5 years ago. Oregon sucks now. They've got talent, but for some reason they can't do anything with it. That's a mute point. That's a new term I learned. You're welcome. The point is that South Carolina has not. That's what I tried to tell the LSU, but he's too stubborn to realize they can't go 10-2. What I was going back to when I chased a rabbit here is when you're delusional, you can't tell anybody anything. You meet up someone who's insane, Bulldog, you can't tell them anything. You can't tell them anything. I mean, at the end of the day, LSU's not going 10-2. And if they do, they must have it. Now, their defense, honestly, I've looked at their defense. Their defense is fan-freaking-tastic. Their defense is outrageous. Their offense is their problem. Their offense is truly their problem. They got that kid from Ohio State, and everybody's buzzing about him. That's good. And they got that running back, Cron Williams, or whatever his name is. Forgive me if I messed the name up. I have to look in my book over here. But at the end of the day, there's no Odell Beckhams, there's no Jarvis Landrys, there's no, playing both sides of the ball players, there's no Fournette, there's no Jeremy Hill. There's none of them on their offense. There's Burrows, and they got this really good offensive lineman. I know that there's probably players that I don't know about. And let me see, Bulldog. You said their offense sucks, and he thinks the quarterback's the only player they need. Let me tell you this: quarterback is very important right now. Where we're at, Bulldog, with this guy, and then I think about last season. Y'all started off with Eason, and I hate it that he got hurt because I'm gonna be honest. Y'all know old Bobby. I'm gonna be rough on you, but I'm gonna be kind to you too. You got to think Jacob Eason is someone's son. And he's not a bad quarterback. He's not. But for what y'all were trying to do there and everything what was going on, he was not a good fit. Don't be surprised if Jacob Eason goes to Washington, and after Jake Browning leaves and Eason sits out his year, he does great. He could do a good job. Okay? He's not horrible. Elijah, 29-6, go Knowles. Hey, buddy, I'm glad you joined us. We're going to beat you this year, you know that. But I'm glad you subscribed. You're good people. I like you, Elijah. You're good people. About to Jacob Eason. One of the worst, best things that could ever happen to Georgia Bulldogs is that Eason got hurt. Fromm came in. He finished that easy game out. Then y'all went up to South Bend and won. Faisley 5. Hey, how you doing? I know y'all see that Brian name there, but I'm Bobby Durkins. Bobby Durkins. They got these little aliases you have to go by and all this, but I'm Bobby Durkins. But thank you. Good to see you. Pass this video along. Talking about it. Georgia got lucky. Oh, no, that's fine. You don't have to apologize, Faisley. Lord, no, I ain't offended. Then who is Brian? I had to sign up under a name under here, and I didn't want them sending a bunch of crap to my email. So I just threw a name down. You know what it is? Volunteer Roadshow, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Volunteer Roadshow on here. Holy piss, catfish and the boys are here. Let me tell you this, Volunteer Roadshow. My brother-in-law actually did graduate from Tennessee. It was not in taxidermy. It was actually in history. He was going for a law degree and decided to change. He's a smart feller. But first of all, I hope y'all doing well. Thank you for saying hey. Hope y'all are doing well. I know you truck drivers. My dad was on the road for many years. And I was about to go out there and drive. Catfish managed to bring Coach Couch back to life. Ellen. That's good. But anyway, sounds like a smart man. He is a smart man. That old boy, I tell you right now, he can add 2 plus 3 and 5 plus 4 and 21 plus 20. Volunteer Roadshow, I have talked to, and everybody bear with me for a second, but I don't think I've got to directly talk to Volunteer Roadshow. I'm telling you right now, I might bust out into joyful tears. Now I'm getting to talk to Volunteer Roadshow. Because I watch you. I watch you. Trust me, I watch you. I may not always comment, but trust me, I watch you. He's a smart boy. He's a smart boy. But I'm going to tell you this, Roadshow. I'm going to tell you something. In 2016, and I'm not trying to bother you or anything, 2016, you boys should have been in the college football playoff. My feelings as a Clemson fan, I'm starting a Friday night call-in show next Friday. You need to call in. Remind me about that, because I get to swing me head and I forget. Let me write that down. Hey, Bobby Durkins Jr. Thank you, son. This youngin' right here, I could say shoot, and he'd start firing before I told him where to aim at. Let me write this down. Starting a call-in show. What do you need? Well, son, I'm trying to find somewhere to write down on. Let's see. Volunteer Roadshow. Bobby Jr., 8 p.m. next Friday night. Now, Volunteer Roadshow, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that Bonnie Durkin, she likes to tongue kiss and stuff about 8:30, so we'll have to make that quick. Let me see. Volunteer Roadshow. Where y'all boys at right now? Y'all out west, or are you out here in the God's country in the southeast where Jesus is Lord and football, college football, that is, not just any football, college football is king. Are you out here volunteer? Let me see. 8 p.m. call in with them boys. I'm in Knoxville tonight. I'm going to tell you right now, if you boys, and I ain't talking trash to you, because I like y'all. I like y'all. You ain't douchey like other people. Y'all good Christian people, I can tell. If y'all go 15-0, y'all win national championship, I will personally take you up to Ye Old Steakhouse. If none of y'all know where Ye Old Steakhouse is, first of all, you need to become an American and get your card. And second of all, if you do, you know that I'm biting off more than I can chew. Y'all need, I'm going to take y'all up there to only Volunteer Roadshow. I'm not talking about a bunch of y'all here. I love y'all. I saw your comment about the other day. I will take y'all up to the Ye Old Sandwich. That's in my old stomping grounds. Ye Old Steakhouse. I'll buy you a steak. Lord, help me. If y'all go 15-0. Y'all should have went to national championship in 2016. Between me and you, y'all should have had a coaching change at the end of that season. And I'm not taunting you. Seriously. I'm serious. I'm being honest. Y'all had one of the best teams. And y'all bear with me, because I hadn't got to talk to a Volunteer Roadshow. I could bet $10,000 that Tennessee doesn't go 15-0. 81 Clemson. Hey, bro. Hey, y'all. How you doing? Hey. Would you go get me some water? You go get me some water. It can be room temperature, it can be cold. Lord be it. I'm about to choke to death. I feel bad for Louisville this year. Elijah, I feel bad for Louisville too. We're going 15-0. I promise you that. I'll tell you right now, Catfish, I love your confidence. I love it. But I will tell you this. I think that y'all have got, I don't know if you saw, I think you did see my preview on Tennessee. I'm originally from a little town in South Carolina called Seneca. I really am. I'm from a little town called Seneca, South Carolina. And we had a guy there in the early to mid-90s who ended up playing at Seneca. And he ended up playing at Clemson, but Tennessee tried to get him to come play there. And for some reason, he ended up staying in town because of his mother. But Tennessee, I know a lot about Tennessee, believe it or not. Believe it or not, y'all should have went to y'all should have went to college football playoff. And I think that Pruitt's not a bad coach. I think he's a good coach. Seneca is beautiful. Lived there for 2 years. 81 Clemson Tiger 16. Let me tell you this: I have like 3 concussions from Lake Kiowee. I'm okay with the Vols and the rest of the East being weak for a small while. I can't stand the competition. Then Boot Gang, go Vols. Boot Game, I'd have never talked to you. Thank you for joining me. Lord be with you. But Volunteer Roadshow. It's sacking me out. I got Volunteer Roadshow on here watching me. What I will say, Bobby Durkins Jr., get your tail over here. He's a good boy. He loves the Tigers. If he didn't, Seneca's just east of Richland. Yeah. It actually is. My grandfather started church. Get your butt over here. Look at my boy. My boy right there. He's handsome. Got that long hair like a beatnik, but put that hat back on. Look like a good Christian youngin'. Been fishing recently. That's a good look at that hat. Got that hat, got the camouflage hat.
These are the two favorite hats that we have in the house.
That is right now. My wife tries to, tries to get across to me. She throws that orange hat on. Boone Kank is a good Tennessee thing. Boone Kank. Well, thank you. I need to meet him. I'm glad I got to meet him. Bobby and Bobby Jr. versus Uncle Lou and Lou Jr. Element. Thanks. Good boy, well trained. Yes, we try right now. The Bible says if you raise them the right way, they won't depart from it. Good looking young. Thank you, Volunteer Roadshow.
I'm raised by the most handsome father in the world.
I'm going to tell you right now. Boy, you ain't getting a raise in your allowance. You know that.
I know.
You're trying to insult my intelligence. Hey, Bobby Jr., say hey to 81 Tiger.
Hey, 81 Tiger.
He's a good one. He's a good one. He's a good one. Let's get here and let's play a little song for you. Where's my picks? Lord, my picks are over here. Oh, no, that's about to fall.
I got you.
Don't let that fall get me a pick out. Volunteer Roadshow's here. I got to play a song for him and all these good Christian people that's watching me right now. By the way, everybody, I want to let y'all know, I'm not trying to dig at you. I think that I could bring more goodness to you. Oh, no, guitar man. That's right, Elijah. I am. Just strike that back here to the back. Tell the devil to get behind us. First of all, y'all know I hate the Gamecocks. And Volunteer Roadshow, I don't know if you've heard this yet. I'm going to send this out to you and everybody else who's listening. I'm working on this one. I've already wrote a full song. I will be showing that in the next few weeks. And I want to go ahead and tell everybody, USC Junior goes 0-12. Let me tell you this. I hate those feathered foe. I said the other day that if Judas would have been busy on the day of the great betrayal, he'd have caught a Gamecock and they'd have gladly filled in for him. This goes out to all y'all who's joining me at 12:30 tonight. I hate the Gamecocks, but I'll get back to my commentary about everything else. Bobby Durkins Jr. handed me this glorious pick. George says, I think Miami beat you 34-17 this year. George, first of all, you have commented a lot, and I appreciate it. I love it. I love it. I like your commentary because you tell me why you think you're going to win. You don't go, hey, how dare you? How dare you? You say that we're going to lose and all this bunch of stuff. You just come up and say, it just is what it is. You tell me what you think. But, George, thank you for commenting. Everybody, this song I've been working on, I've actually written this song. And here we go. It's about the Gamecocks. Here we go. It would suck to be a Gamecock, 'cause you would never win. Then you'd piss and moan about the conference that you're in. And then we'd go down and play those Gamecocks, and then we'd punch them in the face. And then at the end of the day, we'd have a celebratory beer. Oh, I'm feeling that right there. Hate the Gamecocks. I don't know which is worse, ISIS or the Gamecocks. Okay, music time. I accept that I love your music. Yes. Bravo. Thank you. Hey, that one is swimming. Oh, Lord, this is great. This is great. When is that going to be on iTunes? Hunter, Hannah, I ain't putting it on iTunes. They don't pay me enough. But I have lost to sit on the Notre Dame Michigan score prediction. Wolves howling. Wolves howling, to be quite honest with you, I actually picked Notre Dame to lose to Michigan up there. George is a Florida man. I like him, but out of pity because of Florida's horrible season last year. Let me tell you this. I don't get what's happened to Florida over the past year. Over the past couple, actually past since they lost Urban Meyer. It's one of the easiest places in the world to recruit. It doesn't make sense. It is. Boo, Florida, Elijah. That's funny. Every Carolina fan, 5 in a row. Ha, ha, ha. Paisley, 5. That's funny. But trying to get back to what I was going to say, if Penn State should be out of football with the death penalty, how much more Notre Dame? How much more Notre Dame? So it's Urban Meyer heart attack. You know, Volunteer Roadshow, I never got what happened there. They said that he had heart problems, and the next minute it was just a heart thing, and I don't know. Nobody should ever schedule Notre Dame with Penn State again. I don't like them. Florida, who would win? Florida versus Florida, who would win? No one cares. He faked it because of Alabama. You know what's funny? What's really, really interesting is that Saban came into the league and he quickly left. And here's what I wonder: would have been interesting to see Meyer versus Saban. That'd have been crazy, wouldn't it? But we didn't get it that much. We got, what, 1 year of it? 2 years of it, maybe? Something like that. I'm parched. I'm going to refurbish myself. God, I love talking to y'all. George, well, you're really going to hate Georgia name because we played them again in 2019. Please, nobody provide evidence to me that Notre Dame still has a football team. I haven't heard about them in years. Okay, let's talk about Notre Dame for a second. I did a whole thing on Notre Dame in just a little bit ago, and you need to go watch it. If you didn't, Lord help you. Dabo is the next Alabama coach, I promise you that. You know what, Volunteer Roadshow, I've accepted that as a Clemson fan. Most Clemson fans does not accept that. They think because he built this amazing coach, or amazing, forgive me, it's getting late. He built this amazing house up on Lake Kiowee up here in Seneca area. To be quite honest with you, all Clemson fans thinks he's going to stay there. They really do. They really do. They think, I don't think, between you and I, if Alabama comes to Dabo Swinney and looks at him and says, will you be the next coach of Alabama, I don't think he turns it down. And I've got a bunch of Clemson fans that are going to hate on me for saying that. But here's the deal with me, Roadshow. You and I haven't got to talk at all until tonight. That's why I'm so freaking excited. I mean, Lord, if you're here, I'd fix you some cake. And I ain't got no cake. I'd run down here to the store, find somewhere open, and fix you some cake. I'm really excited to talk to you. I really believe that Swinney would go. I really do. I really do. That's been home to him. I was home to him when he grew up there. People forget the ability and the thought process of home. Benjamin Morgan said, I'll eat some cake with a gallon of milk. Lord, I'll get you even that organic crap. It's expensive. And everybody get that organic crap. They give it to the kids thinking they're going to be smarter, there they end up dumber. I've noticed that, but anyway. Home is where the heart is, Volunteer Roadshow. You're right. And everybody else, you need to remember that. I remember that. Even though I'm wearing this shirt, let me tell you this. You see that flag back there? I've had that up. I've supported that flag for years. Okay? That flag right there, I've supported it and you gotta think, I'm in my mid-30s, so I support that flag. I can barely remember the Danny Ford days. And then we had Ken Hatfield. And for those of you, I'll give you a little history lesson. Ken Hatfield had a pretty doggone good team. They went into I think it was the 93 season. He lost 3 games that year. He lost to North Carolina. He lost to who would become the national champions, Florida State. But here's the deal. They lost like 57-0 to Florida State. That's when Charlie Ward played for them, won the Heisman that year. And then the one that killed everybody is when they lost to Wake Forest. And they fired him, hired Tommy West. He was there up till through 1998. He got fired in 1998. They went 3-8. They did beat South Carolina that year. I always love throwing out. Even when we sucked, we beat you. You bunch of feathered pricks. Yeah, I know, Elijah. That was a joke. That really was the icing on the cake when they fired Hatfield. Lost Tommy West, got Tommy Bowden. First season, I will tell you that first season that he coached, there was a who's who name who they played that year. They played Marshall the very first game. His very first game, Chad Pennington was the quarterback. Benjamin Morgan says Gamecocks lost Citadel. That was still awesome. That was not a bad Citadel's team, but it was funny how Spurrier lost, or how he left them in the middle of the season. Yeah. All the Gamecock fans are still saying, well, it was time for him to leave. Quit in the middle of nothing? Wow. Volunteer Roadshow. Pennington's from Knoxville. He is. Very talented quarterback. Very talented. It up at Marshall. They beat Clemson. Please don't talk serious about South Carolina on this channel. George, let me promise you something. If I ever sound serious, it's a total joke. If right now I went in there and I took a dump and I said something even semi-kind about South Carolina, it's because I was having to strain extra hard to get that pulpwood out of my rear end. I never mean anything serious about South Carolina. You can trust me on that. Roadshow says Pennington threw a lot of touchdowns for Randy Moss in college. You're right, he did. Randy Moss was incredible. What was crazy was when Clemson played, you can't talk serious about the Gamecocks without laughing. It's really true. It's really true. You got to think that the year that Clemson won the national championship, they beat South Carolina 56-7. Played them down here in the Valley, down here in Clemson. I mean, beat the crap out of them. If you go back and watch that game, Swinney could have ran the score up, and I'm not making this up. He could have ran it into the 80s. The 80s. And backed it off. Because Dabo Swinney's a good man. And that's how I started this, and I went off in left field. When I saw Roadshow was on here, I was like, man, I ain't got to talk Roadshow. Lord be with him. And then Bentley comes out, the quarterback, and says, that night there was not that much difference between us. And look, I understand competition and leading your team and all that, that big deal. But at the end of the day, you got beat 56-7. Don't even reference that game. Say, it was a bad night that night. We look to build from it. There's your answer. Don't go, there's not, never again. Hunter Hanna, never again. That's what they said. And then last year we beat the piss out of them in Columbia. And we're going to beat the piss out of them again this year in Clemson. Our defensive line and our linebackers murders them. Bowser Note says Dabo has sportsmanship and knows how to show it. I've talked about Carolina since my dad is a Cock fan. Faze Leaf 5, thanks for saying that. Yeah. I'm married into it, believe it or not, into a family of Gamecocks. Those 4 spots look pretty sweet, huntless like an automatic. Pull it off. Leaving Columbia to drive Charleston for now. I keep listening. No more commenting, but I'm here. Thanks, 81 Clemson. But for all y'all out here, I mean, at the end of the day, Volunteer Roadshow hitting the nail on the head. I had some people I met recently from Troy, Alabama. Troy. And they were talking about Alabama like it was their team. And I'm sitting there going, don't you have Troy shirts on? Isn't that like a conflict of interest, you bunch of douchebags? But the truth is that Troy, these people from Troy said, we're ready. We're ready for Dabo Swinney to take over the team after Saban retires. And a lot of Clemson fans in denial of that. If he stayed, I'd be more surprised than if he went, because that is his home. Let's be honest about Dabo Swinney. There's a lot of people who doesn't like that he just kind of sits around, and they don't like that he jumps around, and he's a very he's a very authentic guy. If there's anything you know about him, is that Dabo Swinney is so jacked up that a lot of people don't like him because he doesn't look constipated on the sideline like a lot of coaches. And I like that he does have a lot of action about him. He's all jacked up. He's fired up. I also like that he took money that could have went into his pockets and said, hey, I'm going to invest it in my assistant coaches. And I want to give it to them, give them a reason to stay here. That's a good man. And this week, and I started off this 40 minutes ago, the truth is that Dabo Swinney was asked about his faith. Now I want to stop here and I want to say this. I'm not going to try to shove my personal beliefs down your throat. But I think that any belief that pushes don't steal, don't cheat, don't kill, don't harm your fellow neighbor, even if you disagree with them. You can disagree with them, you don't have to stand for what they stand for, but don't harm them in the sense of don't attack them, like attacking them. Now, people will say you're attacking me when you're not attacking me. That's a whole social issue. I ain't going down there. I try to stay away from that. We got ESPN. They deal with social issues. That's why guys like me and Uncle Lou and Pigskin Pete, we're here and volunteer road shows, because I'm not going to sit here and try to pull some social crap on you. At the end of the day, I know my place. I'm a sports talker. But at the end of the day, also, I do know that Dabo Swinney's a good man. He's not perfect. He ain't perfect. And if anything bad come out about him tomorrow, he's a human being. He has red blood flowing through his veins. But I'll say this, and I want everybody to just stick with me for a few minutes, and we'll get off this whole deal. Is that Dabo Swinney recruits based off of what his team thinks about players' personality, not their ability. And you say, well, Bobby, what does that mean? And I don't mean a hill of beans to me, Bobby. All I want is a good football player. Well, let me tell you this. There's a lot of good football players who will come into your locker room and rip your locker room apart. There's a lot of coaches. Tennessee Roadshow, I don't know if you're still on here. I hope you still are. If you're not, I understand. Think about this. A couple of years ago, there was a lot of things that went on in the volunteer locker room. I mean, I'm telling you, y'all. I'm not saying this because Tennessee Roadshow is on here. I'm here. Thank you, Volunteer Roadshow. Thank you. Thank you. He'd probably agree with me. Y'all had some of the top talent in the country. Barnett was amazing. Kamara. I mean, my God, what amazing players is playing on the team. There was disunity in the locker room, and there was disunity among the coaches. And what Swinney has done, the reason that he's had 7 10-plus win seasons in a row. 7. Think about that, y'all. Y'all stop and think about that. Forget who you pull for. Forget the color of this shirt. Forget the paw on this chest. Think about it for just a second. Unity wins, baby. It does. You get a bunch of players who's amazing and talented into the same locker room, and they don't like each other. Guess what happens? You lose. You get a coach who's bought into himself and not bought into winning, meaning that he'll make adjustments to his play calling. He'll lose because he's bought into himself and not into winning. And this goes deep. This goes too deep for some people. Some people can't handle what I'm saying right now. You know why? Because they don't understand it. I don't understand all the X's and O's, but I do understand this. You will go to hell and back for somebody you believe in. And it happened at Tennessee, and they didn't believe in their coach, and they had more talent than anybody. The year in 2016, I'm not just saying this because Volunteer Roadshow's on here. I'm saying this because this is the truth, and that's the only reason I'm here. This is the truth. The year 2016, Tennessee Volunteers should have been in the college football playoff, but they were not in there because they didn't believe in their coach, and they didn't believe in one another. They should have beat Alabama that year. You know why I can say this? Because I know college football. I might not call every game right. You might go, oh, you didn't call that game right. Big deal. I'll be right. More than none. Volunteer Roadshow, you're right. We almost did. You should have. You should have. And that proves that Dabo Swinney will look at his players when they bring in a 5-star, 4-star recruit and look at them and go, I know they're talented. We all know they're talented. We know that ESPN says they're great. We know that 247 says they're great. We know Phil Steele says they're fantastic. What do you think about it? Hey, let's get real personal here. Would you like for this person to be on your team? Would you like to lock arms with this person and play against Alabama, play against Ohio State, play against Georgia, play against Oklahoma? When the beads of sweat are bottling up on your head, the crowd's loud, you're in an away game. Is this a person that you believe you could trust in, or is this a person you wouldn't trust with taking care of your goldfish? Tell me the truth. Well, Coach, we don't believe in them. You know what? We don't want them on our team. He says, then we're not recruiting them. And Volunteer Roadshow just commented, and it's just powerful. It's what's crazy is this week I sit with my brother-in-law, and we watched that national championship game with Tennessee and Florida State, where T. Martin and the boys, Marcus Nash, Peerless Price, I think of Sean Ellis, Leonard Little, beat Florida State in the national championship to win Tennessee's national championship in 1998. Al Wilson, you're right, Al Wilson was there. For those of y'all who don't know, Sean Ellis is from Anderson, South Carolina. Jamal Lewis, yeah. I won the national championship. If you take players who believe in each other, they might not see eye to eye with everything. But they trust each other. You can win a game with them. You can go down to the swamp when everybody has, spurring everybody talking trash. Guess what? You win. Bowser Nation says he's out. See you, buddy. Thanks for joining me this evening. I know it's a late one. It's very different for me. Truth is, you take a team who believes in each other, believes in the coaching, they'll win. And Dabo Swinney this week, he said the easiest question he had to answer was about his faith. And look, as I said, I'm not going to shove this down your throat. All I'm going to say is that Christianity has some very good values in it. You believe in each other, you trust each other, or you don't, and then you be honest about it. You don't steal, you don't take, you don't bust people over the head, you don't go rape somebody and they go say that she was lying about it, like a lot of football players has done, and then their coaches goes and covers it up, and then 5 years later, you're sitting there still hearing whispers about it. You don't end up picking up recruits. You know why? Because you went out and you bought a bunch of prostitutes out on some boat and got them out in the international waters while they were smoking pot. Whether it was illegal or not, and at the time it wasn't. I know I'm getting deep here, and I know I'm normally funny. But I'm going to be honest about this. I am sick and tired of this crap that goes on, and then we sit there and we wonder why it went on, and then we play dumb to it. We knew nobody wanted to go down to Ole Miss and play football for them. We knew nobody had a good answer of why they had a couple of one specifically good recruiting class. Well, my mama wants me to go down there and play. No, you want to go down there and play because you heard you get some hookers. And at the end of the day, you still didn't amount to crap. And all of this is based off of what I just said about when Swinney was asked about his faith. You don't steal, you don't kill. When people think about killing, they just think about taking the breath out of your lungs. Let me tell you this. It's talking about killing people's ambition too. It's talking about killing people's career. It's talking about killing people's hope. Point blank. And I'm going to tell you a fan base, and I've had some good Miami fans, so it's not all Miami fans. But you want to talk about a fan base who's raked, let me rephrase this. Who's tried to rake me over the coals. First of all, I'm Bobby Durkins. When I lay my head down on the pillow, I go to sleep as Bobby Durkins, and I confidently wake up as Bobby Durkins. I may not say everything perfect. I may not knock every ball out of the park. But I'm going to tell you, when I swing hard. And I hit. And when I hit hard. And if I strike out hard. But I die for first base, baby. Washington Huskies football, glad you joined me. You've been a good one. Thank you. I need to come out there to Seattle, see y'all, and buy some fish off that dock. Show me I'm talking about some stuff. Volunteer Roadshow says like Pete Rose. Here's the deal. Let me tell you the truth here. I'm gonna tell you the truth here. Here. Miami fans hate me because of two reasons. I've talked about their history, which is not far up, not long ago. And I've talked about the chain. Let's go over what a major football player, a major school football player, goes through and what they get. We talk about players getting paid and all that much stuff. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Don't get offensive on this. Just bear with me. You go to a school for free. A lot of these schools cost a lot of money. You go there for free. You are being paid to go there. Shut up. You're getting paid to go there. Bobby's preaching tonight, Bulldog. I'm passing plate at the end. I hope you donate to the goodness. You go there for free. You're praised as almost a god. That doesn't do much for the ego, does it? And you have women, beautiful women, not ugly girls, who, hey, how you doing? How you want to kiss me? No. You have beautiful women throwing themselves at you. You have the hopes of going to the pros. And the bigger the program, the greater the hope. But you can't get fired up about that. Oh, Lord, no. You need some flea market chain to get you fired up. Oh, I got the chain around my neck. Forget all that other stuff. I got this piece of flea market trash around my neck. I have a problem with that. I don't mind getting players fired up. I don't mind getting players fired up. That's fine. That's fine. Look forward to another preview. Anyway, keep up the good work. Someone make stream highlights for you. I have to hit the bed in a few. I'll hang in here a few more minutes. All right, I'll try to bring it together. I know y'all all tired. Here's the deal what I'm saying. Here's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to have to go to bed myself. I'm with y'all. But I just felt like doing this. The truth is, you want to be honest? You want to be honest? A lot of these guys don't realize what they're playing for unless they have a coach like Swinney to look at them, grab them in the face mask, and let's say, look in my eyes when I'm telling you. Church of Durkins, right there. There we go. You guys, he looks them in the face and he says this. Hey, look in my eyes. Look in my eyes like a man. And listen to what I'm talking about. Don't get those droopy eyes and walk off to the sideline. Look in my eyes. Why did you mess up there? What did you see? Let's work through this. Let's try to fix it. That's why Dabo Swinney's the man that he is. He ain't perfect. That's the reason he's the man he is. And so it's funny to me that the easiest question he had to answer this week was about his faith because it's actually built into him. The ACLU has persecuted him for it. Freedom of religion, they've persecuted him for him. And this is what I want to tell you about freedom of religion. I understand there's a lot of religion stuff, and I try to stay away from political stuff and everything on here. Y'all forgive me. I'm just going to be Bobby for just a second. Y'all give me just a second. I try to shy away from it. Not because I'm ashamed of it. I just try for this to be a place where we can all be an outlet together for college football. But anything that teaches don't steal, don't harm yourself, don't harm others. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't correct others. Now, if that hurts them, that's a different thing. People gets hurts and gets pissy over nothing anymore. But you don't go steal and take from others. You don't come in and cause division without cause. You don't come in and tear down something that's built on good solid ground. I'm going to tell you right now, that's a coach I want my kid to play for. I don't care if he's wearing this, if he's wearing some other color. That's a coach I want to play for. And I want to say this, and I want to say it today. If your team is suffering, if your team is going down, it's one of two reasons. It's because the coach don't know what they're doing, or it's because they ain't got no morals. And that's it. Ain't got no flipping morals anymore. People's covering up rape so they can get a kid to throw a ball down the field. At the end of the day, even though I love football, if you rape somebody, your tail needs to go to jail. And if you cover it up, you need to go to jail for longer than they did because it was rape. And we've seen that. And the only reason I bring that up and I'm so passionate about it is because I've seen this crap happen. Just because a kid can throw some leather-colored ball down the field, he's given a pass on life. I say he goes to jail. And I say that if somebody covers it up, they go to jail for longer. And they have to look that victim in the eye, and they have to tell them that a ball being passed down the field, which I love college football almost more than anything other than besides God and my family. But it doesn't matter that much. And that's why I pull for Dabo Swinney. And that's why I like him. He ain't perfect. I don't know who's going to put out at quarterback this year. We got a quarterback situation on our hands. But that means a hill of beans when it comes down to being a good man. And I'm right. And if you disagree with me, you're doggone wrong. And I'll meet you in any parking lot, beat the crap out of you. And even if you beat me and kill me, I'm still right. I'll go to the grave right. Well, listen, everybody, I know I got fired up tonight. Went much longer than what I thought. Volunteer Roadshow, thank you for joining me. Small Vol, thank you for joining me. Bulldog, thank you for joining me. All of you, I can't call you all out. Y'all been so much good to me. I did want y'all to be praying for one of our viewers, Alpha Wolf. I think I got that name right, Alpha Wolf. He sent me a message today, actually brought a tear to my eye. He said, when I'm getting my MS treatment, I watch you. You know, I get on here, I talk about guys throwing footballs around, and I get on here, I say some pretty stupid stuff. Even I know it. And I think about somebody sitting there who has MS, they're getting their treatment. They're sitting there watching me talk about football. That means a lot to me. See, I also pray, if you pray in the kind, and even if you ain't, pray for him. Pray for him, Alpha Wolf. Wolf, I hope you get to see us, buddy. Oh, y'all, we are officially in the weekend. I mean, it's 1 a.m. now. Unless you're on the West Coast, you're still in Friday. You still got to make it better. Washington Husky football, I know you out there watching me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Share this video with everybody. I do want to tell you that I will be doing, I've been receiving a lot of requests to do, of course, nobody's really requested the Clemson preseason. You know that it's coming. You know that it's coming. George says Jesus is a Florida Gator. That's funny. That's funny, George. He told them who to hire and they said no. That's why you've had the season that you've had. I'm just picking at you. No, in all seriousness, I will be talking about Clemson at the very end of the season. That's the very last preview I'm going to do, and it's going to be right before, because I think some really interesting things going to happen. Small Bowl, I know you have my ready. You have them right and ready for me, the predictions. You do a really good job. Most of them I agree with. Some of them I disagree with, but that's fine. It's no big deal. It's college football. But anyway, the two that I keep getting requests for that Bobby got to do a preview on is Alabama and South Carolina. I will do them right before Clemson, right before the season starts off. Alabama, for the reason of there's a small rivalry that's been going on. By the way, for all those South Carolina fans, they talk about they playing the SEC and how tough it is. You hadn't played the Gamecocks since 2010. Yeah, you beat them then. That was 8 years ago. We've played them 3 times since then. So just go away and, I don't know, jump off the back of Williams-Brice. And then Alabama, you know, we do our thing there. So anyway, it is coming up. All 3 of those are coming up. I did predict Tennessee to beat Florida. If y'all didn't know that, you need to go back and watch it. You need to go watch the Tennessee one, and you need to watch the Florida one. I picked Tennessee to win. I think if they start, I know Garantano does have experience there within the system. That was last year's system, in my opinion. You start Christ, you're going to win. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. Roadshow, you'll straighten me out. I know you will. Small Bowl, you'll straighten me out. Small Bowl, I have Florida beating Tennessee. Unfortunately, I'm hopeful that I'm wrong. Small Bowl, I'm going to tell you this with respect, but it's actually in your favor. Tennessee is going to beat Florida in Tennessee. Florida has too many questions on the offensive side of the ball. Too many questions. At least you have 2 quarterbacks to choose from. They really don't. Trust me. I've looked at it. All right. Okay. I'm going away because y'all know me. I keep talking. All right now. I mean, Lord, I can keep going. Well, I'm going to end with my saying that I say, well, a lot recently. I'm Bobby Durkins, and I'm right. And if you disagree with me, you're wrong. Bobby Durkins.